Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Hitch Rack's Destination 2 bike platform rack here on our 2021 Mini Cooper. Now, right out of the gate, the Mini Cooper definitely going to start limiting you on the kind of bike racks you are going to be able to carry. Because we're going to have a smaller hitch, our tongue weight is probably going to be a lot lower than you might see on some of those Class 2 and Class 3 hitches. That being said, a lightweight rack is really going to start helping us make sure we can get the bikes we want up to the trailhead. Now, that's where the Destination really starts coming in through really nice. Only about 20 to 25 pounds kind of weight capacity on this carrier. It's definitely going to do a good job of not dipping into that tongue weight. So that means we are going to get our 35-pound bikes up on here with no problem. That is going to be our maximum per platform and per bike on here, as you can see. With that being said, though, we aren't going to be able to get those carbon frame bikes up on here. We are going to have a middle attachment here, so that is going to slightly limit us, but it's also going to give us a lot of versatility. No, we're not going to be able to get those carbon frames up on here, but if you have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or kiddos bikes, normally you have a lot of hard time getting those horizontal contacts to actually adapt to our frame mounts. However, with this guy, we are going to get a lot of versatility that we're about to break down here in just a little bit. The platform itself is pretty standard. You are just getting these sloped kind of wheel holders here that aren't going to do anything too crazy but hold our bike. But one thing that's nice and a little versatile of it, we are able to move where these points are. Now, you can only shift it between that hole it's in and the hole I'm pointing to, but it does just give us a little bit more versatility if we had a smaller bike, and we make sure we are nice and secure on there and widening out for some of our longer guys. While we're here too, you've probably noticed these white reflectors on the end. It's something I really like to point out. Now, Hitch Racks does a good job of throwing these on here, and they're not really standard across the industry. And one reason I like pointing them out, we do utilize, you really have like a black bike rack here, and so it's going to be harder for people to actually see us at night. We might have some reflectors on our bikes, but those are probably going to be pointed out to the edges. It is going to be nice for people to let us know where we are. That way, if you have anybody in the car with us after those long rides, it's starting to get dusk, letting us know exactly where we are, reducing any kind of accidents. It's going to be pretty quick to actually get this bike off of here, so let's go ahead and show that. We just have a little ratchet strap system here. Pressing on that lever is going to go ahead and release that strip. A couple things I like about this, though, you can see we are getting a nice little rubber pad here that is actually adjustable depending on our height of our wheel. And another thing about it, too, we actually have this little finger hold for us to go ahead and make sure we are getting really nice and secure. It's better than pinching these, especially if our hands are cold or wet. Makes it that much easier to make sure we are secure. So, pretty nice that we can actually do that. And as we mentioned already, those can be swapped. So, just a little versatility can go a long way, as I'm sure you guys know of. Now, that brings us to our last attachment here, and that is our middle post section here. Now, this middle post section, as we mentioned, becomes very, very versatile for ourselves. You'll notice on the end here, this guy can actually go ahead and rotate 360 degrees, which is great because if we had a horizontal frame that wants to go straight horizontal like that, we can make it happen. A vertical post that we need to clip to, very, very versatile system, as you can see, of how quick and easy that is to manipulate. So, and I like how it's actually independent. It has two arms, so even if we had bikes that are at the same level, they won't be interacting with each other, as you might see as some of those arm models out there. To release this, I just want to make sure I'm holding that bike in with my offhand, as you can see, and just sliding that out. Comes just a quick little pinch and move. I'm just kind of utilizing my arm to keep it tight against my mast so it doesn't tilt into our vehicle. And then we can go ahead, just kind of grab our bike and start lifting it off. Very quick and easy to use. Now, the mounting of it is a little bit more challenging just because you're kind of fighting around this mast. Now, if you really, really wanted to, we could go ahead and just lower this guy right away before we actually mount our bikes back up again. And all I have to do is release this torque knob here, pull up on our lever, and it's going to go ahead and allow us to actually tilt this guy down and away from ourselves. So not only is that going to make it a little bit easier to get that bike on, bring this up into position, and start mounting it, I think it's a great little system to actually get us access to our cargo, and you're about to see why. As you can see, that mast being down and that bike out of the way going to allow us to actually open up our hatch and easily get to our cargo. Now I can get those coolers, bike helmets, anything I need. Unfortunately, no tilt-away feature while those bikes are on there. And I think that's where it starts kind of falling short compared to some of those more premium items. The Kuat Transfer V2 comes to mind. pretty much similar on its capacity, maybe actually a little bit higher, and you also are getting that tilt away capability, but still quick and easy to get those bikes off, as you saw, with no problem at all. And a quick little trick I like to do with this too, guys, is just to take this extra strip here and kind of throw it through my mast and cinch this down. That's going to do a good job so this guy doesn't pop out when we put it in its standing position. Talking about that, we do have a little bit of extra length being added here. Definitely nothing too crazy with just our 2-bike platform. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at how much length we are adding to our Mini Cooper here. So from the rear of our bumper to the very end, putting this right under 26 inches. So about 25 7/8 inches from the rear of our vehicle. Going to be nothing too crazy by any means, but we do want to have a way of shortening that down. Maybe we want to get this in the garage or some tight parking places at the trailhead or wherever we might be. We actually have a way of doing that. On the inside, we just have a little clip we want to pull off. And on the back end, we just have another torque knob here. Very quick and easy to spin out, remove, and all I have to do is walk this guy up, find where this pin wants, slide him through, and start torquing him down. Just like so. You guys, that's just a quick little look at that knob, as you can see right here. And one thing I like to do, this little cable's making sure this guy stays with us at all times. If you're like me and a little forgetful, it's nice that it's just hanging right there for us. Something that we don't have to worry about, which is always nice for a pleasant ride. So you can see really reducing a lot of that length. And again, you can see that mast coming just a little bit close to that vehicle. However, our extra strap doing a good job of actually holding that in, making sure we're not making any kind of contact. Now, you could actually reduce this a little bit more with a little bit of manipulation. We'll give you a quick little idea of how close we are to our vehicle, to our arm in its position right now. Going to be about almost 4 inches, but naturally we are going to be about right under 7 inches there. So about 6 3/4. Already doing a good job, not being too close to our Cooper. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how much length we are actually adding now to the end. Our wing is going to be our farthest point of contact, right under 16 inches. So about 15 3/4, or about 15 7/8 right there. As you guys saw, definitely not going to be too much length being added. Nice that we can actually reduce that length down to our Cooper. Now we can get in the garage with these tight parking places with no trouble at all. Now, another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance to the ground. In its standing position, I think we might have a little bit of clearance issue here, but about 13.5 inches, definitely be well up and out of the way. You can see that rise in the shank, doing a good job of making sure this stays out of there. Well, let's go ahead and take a look and see what our clearance is going to be when our bikes are actually on here. Now, when we are driving on some steep terrain, as those front wheels go up, our back wheels will go down, and so will our hitch-mounted accessories. And every time we get a little bit further from our hitch and our wheels, it will be dipping down just a bit. Looks like our wings are also going to be the farthest point, or I'm sorry, the closest point to the ground here. With a quick little look, I can see that it's about right under 15 inches there. So 14 15/16 going to do a good job of being well enough out of the way. It's definitely something I'd be conscious of if you have a very steep incline or if you're getting crazy with a little off-roading in the Cooper, but I don't think we're going to have any issues at all for ourselves. Moving our way down the receiver here, you can see we do have an 1.25" receiver naturally. Now this does come with a 2-inch sleeve adapter, so if you have a couple other vehicles in the family, it can be very versatile for those systems as well. And we just have a simple little threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt in the back end there. Now it's pretty standard across the industry, but it does do a good job of getting this in line with our hitch and therefore in line with our frame. So as we drive, you can see what that hustle and jostle will do kind of to us. As I'm shaking this, I'm shaking the entirety of the vehicle. That's bringing it all in line to one system to make it nice and smooth for ourselves as we drive, but also our bike racks and our bikes. So anything to reduce that jostle is really going to help keep our bikes looking nice in the long term. And on the end here too, we do have a hitch lock that's been included. And that's something else I'd like to talk to. You know, the security of this guy, it's nice that the rack is going to be staying to our vehicle unattended. However, it doesn't naturally come with any kind of cable locks or anything like that. So that's something I would maybe have to look at of kind of expediting my purchase as well. You know, now I'm adding another little thing. It's definitely nothing too crazy. And if we just find ourselves taking this out on the weekend, I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about. Well, I think the Destination does an excellent job, and as well as I like how lightweight it is, and it doesn't start taking away from my tongue weight capacity of those bigger bikes that I can actually throw up on here. I think it's really easy to utilize. It can be a little garish when you just start looking at the straps, but when you quickly realize how useful they are, they really all start coming together. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Holiday Rack's Destination 2 bike platform rack here on our 2021 Mini Cooper. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.